G'day and welcome into A Toast of Film. I'm your host Ebo, and this week we're getting a little dangerous, guys, because we'll be reviewing three new theatrical releases. Well, I guess one's a streaming release, Predator Killer Killers, but then in the world of theaters, we got Ballerina and Dangerous Animals, and this week we got a nice top five for you. Top five non-Jaws shark films. We appreciate you listening. We appreciate you tuning in. And this week we are toasting with the Shark Pit West Coast style India Pale Ale from Weldworks Brewing Co. Has a really cool can, a lot of different sharks on there. You got a nice little hammerhead. I see some blue tip. I see some reef sharks. Nice little great white. So nice little pale ale if that's your kind of thing. And let's go ahead and get into reviews. We're going to start with the world of streaming. And we got on Hulu, we got Predator Killer Killers. This is from Dan Trachtenberg, director of Prey, director of 10 Cloverfield Lane, upcoming director of Predator Badlands. Man is really trying to bring forth the Predator. He co-directed this with Joshua Wasung. So this is basically a collection, it's animated. It's a collection of shorts set in the Predator universe where it's predators coming to Earth at different eras trying to find the best warrior to face off. So we got Earth in 41 AD, which is Vikings. That one's called the Shield. It's this Viking clan, going to try and settle a score of their own when, lo and behold, Predator. We have the Sword. This is 1609 feudal Japan. This is two brothers who are already fighting each other for revenge. Predator shows up. And then 1942, World War II, we got the Bullet. This one is a young mechanic who is drafted, who is a pilot during the war. So each one of these has their own flair. The Shield. One cool thing is each Predator is also different. So in the Shield, the Viking one, it's this massive, like real bulked up Predator. And then the Sword, it's a more sleeker, rabid Predator. And then the other one, since it's kind of like dog fighting, where the pilots in World War II are fighting against him in his like craft. We haven't really seen that before. That one's kind of almost cyborg looking, very skinny, kind of bald, a lot of more metal like attached to his face. And it all culminates, in this big gladiator style where there's a warlord predator. He's like 15 feet tall. I really like the world building in this. I think the animation's interesting. I'm so happy we're getting these Predator films. So I don't think this is on the same level as Prey. But Prey, you're set in one place, following one character, one Predator. So you have this very easy narrative that you can do. This great story where you can take those extra times to get to know your characters. You can take time. In this, we're hopping around a lot. We have a lot to do. So it makes sense this wouldn't be on the same level, but it does get me excited for the future, especially with Predator Badlands coming, because I like Dan Trachtenberg is willing to go stray from the path of what we know of Predators. He's has all these ideas for world building, the Predator world, all that kind of stuff. So Predator Killer Killers, it's on Hulu, like I said. I think it's a great time. I think you should check it out if you like the Predator films. Even if you don't, the animation's cool. Some of the action sequences are cool. I would rate it a solid 4 out of 5 cheers. I will admit there is a bias because I love Predator and animation. So that kind of gives it some bonus points. I'd probably be more in like the 3-8 type range, but I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 cheers. I really enjoyed it. So we've hit streaming. Now let's go into theaters because from the world of John Wick, we have Ballerina. So this is from Len Wiseman, who did the first 2 Underworld films and Live Free or Die Hard. All 3 of those great films I enjoy. We have Ana de Armas as Eve, and she is basically, we've seen the ballerinas. We know about this faction that, from the John Wick films, and she is out to settle a score. We also have Gabriel Byrne as the Chancellor. That is who she is out to get. And then we do have Norman Reedus in here as a little side character. And from the previous John Wick films, we have Keanu Reeves returning as John Wick, Ian McShane returning as Winston, Jellica Houston returning as the director, and rest in peace, Lance Reddick returned as Sharon at the Continental. I think this is his final role, so that's pretty cool to see. This movie is kind of a cluster. It's like action sequences, a little bit of story, da 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 da. I mean, and there's some cool action sequences. I'll give it that. There's also one of the worst uses of CGI I've ever seen in a film, where this car is coming down an alley and it hits the car E's driving. It literally looked like a cartoon. I don't see how that made it to a theatrical release. It was rough. That scene should have just been scrapped. It didn't add anything to the plot to begin with. Another thing in this film is they're trying to make the Kikamura, this vengeance or protector role. They're really trying to make it a thing, but it doesn't seem earned like the Baba Yaga did. In the first John Wick, we just from the way other characters are talking about it, reacting, we really feel the Baba Yaga. Like has some heft to it. This Kikamura, they keep trying to push it. Oh, the Kikamura, but it doesn't really matter. I do think Anna de Armas, she's bringing a lot to the role. Like I said, some cool action sequences. I just think this is a franchise I enjoy, but not a franchise I love. So I wasn't too into it. It feels way too long. I'd be interested to see if they do anything from here, but as it sits right now, I'm going to put this at 2.7 out of 5 cheers. I think it's too long. I think it's too much of a cluster. And I just think there's better things you could check out. So next up, we have Dangerous Animals. So this is from director Sean Byrne, who did The Loved Ones. And we have a slew of different characters. The main ones, we got Jai Courtney as Bruce Tucker. And basically, he owns a boat and he takes people out on these, oh, look at the sharks. Aren't sharks cool? But what they don't know is Bruce, he a little crazy. Mr. Tucker, he a little wild. He likes to, torture women psychologically and then feed them to sharks because he has this whole thing that I won't get into about sharks and death and stuff like that. We do have Hassie Harrison as Zephyr. She's our lead, protagonist, one of the victims of Jai Courtney who gets kidnapped. Ella Newton is a side character, Heather, who's in it for a little bit. And Josh Houston is Moses, who basically, after one night of meeting Zephyr and, talking and, getting it on and all that, he's like, this is the woman I love no matter what. This is the most loved I've ever felt. And so he is trying to find her before Zephyr's ticket gets punched. I think this movie is a great idea. I just don't think the execution was that great. Number one, and I understand this is the age we're in. I cannot stand cheap CGI sharks. It's just I understand people are working with a budget, but add just, even if it's a couple shots, add an actual prop shark. Give us some practical effects, because these CGIs, and I know it's a me thing, I just can't get behind it because it looks so bad when you have real humans and then you have this cartoon shark coming at them. I do think the story was cool. Like Jai Courtney plays a very good psychopath in this. I'll give you that. And I like our lead, Zephyr. She was somebody who he was torturing, but she was also out to figure out, like, okay, I need to figure out, can I break this chain? Can I get out? What do I need to do? So that was cool to see. The ending of this movie goes off the rails. It involves first body mutilation and then swimming, and it gets off the rails where I'm like, okay, we had a pretty good movie and now you dropped it just a good movie at best. It got too dumb for me, which is funny considering once we get into top 5 how dumb we'll be getting. But for this movie, it sets this very serious world, real world, and then it gets a little silly towards the end. I do think Jai Courtney, like I said, very good psychopath. I do think Hassie Harrison did good. I do think Ella Newton did good for her role. Josh Houston could have done with or without. Like, oh, I met you in one night. Now I love you, and I will do anything to find you. Like, but come on now. But I do think this is a good movie. I do think it's a fun one to check out since it's summertime. Summertime, you gotta go see a shark movie. You know, we've had The Shallows, we've had all kinds of stuff, but fun time. Check it out. Dangerous Animals. I'm gonna give it a solid 3 out of 5. Cheers. I think it's a good time. But now, mates, let's get into our own shark pit because it is time for the top 5 of the week, brought to you by Toast of Film. And like I said, this week, the theme is non-Jaws shark films. And there's a lot I could have put on here, a lot of good ones. I won't be putting those on here because I wanted to do some films that I personally, am a fan of, that I don't think enough people have heard of, that I think you should check out. So number 5, let's get right off the rip with what I think is one of the dumbest, but one of the greatest films. This is Deep Blue Sea 2. I will go ahead and tell you, all these films are older, so there will be spoilers in this. So, small spoiler warning. But Deep Blue Sea 2, it's the same setup as the first film, except, and I am not making this up. I need y'all to understand. I'm not making this up. The reason they're doing all this testing and all this science with these sharks is they're trying to make superhumans using shark DNA, because the lead human antagonist thinks there's going to be a rise of the machines against humans. He thinks Terminator is going to happen, and the solution is we need to use the DNA of sharks to make humans stronger, faster, all that. Oh, it gets better, folks. Horrible acting, decent script. They put some ideas in it, but just wild film. The film opens with a song saying Deep Blue Sea. The ocean is only referred to as Deep Blue Sea. There's some great quotes such as Josh, and then how did they go on a joy swim? Fantastic. There's a scene where 2 characters are talking, and they're underwater, so they have those like windows that show out into the ocean, and 2 characters are talking, and then it cuts to the window, and there's a shark like in the window, like like it's like a Michael Myers serial killer or something. Like, what are we doing? My favorite thing personally, there's little baby sharks that are like gremlins, and they're like swarming, and they're like they're like little gremlins. Incredible. We have the random metal music from House of the Dead. Sharks take out the camera. Smart. A woman outswims a super shark. Let that sink in. And the Coast Guard sends a drone to see if the call for help was real. Yeah, let's just send a drone to make sure it's real. It's just such a silly movie, but such a great time. I thoroughly enjoy it. I hope you check it out. Like I said, just buckle up for the dumb fun. Number 4, now this one is really good time. This is The Last Shark from 1981, aka Le Ultimo Squalo. Have you ever wondered what would happen if Italy did a exact ripoff remake, scene by scene, of Jaws? Here you go. This is what this is. The Last Shark, 1981. It's just Italy presents their rendition of Jaws. Blatant ripoff, but I love it. Number 3, Ghost Shark. So this shark, he's just minding his own business. Some evil fishermen kill him in his dying breaths. He gets to a magical lagoon and he gets reborn as a vengeful spirit, the ghost shark. Now, this is a ghost, but a shark, so it has to have rules. And the rules are it can attack you wherever there is water. So you're washing your hands, shark. You're, using the bathroom, shark. Take a shower, shark. You're a little kid on a slip and slide, shark. It's raining, it can just fly through the air. But it's so dumb, but I love it so much because they took an idea and they were like, we got this. It's a shark, so it's a ghost, has to be in water. Great. Number 2, this is from J.D. Dillard, who did Devotion, has Kiersey Clemons as the lead actress. This was a straight-to-streaming movie, Sweetheart, which we actually did review on Toast to Film. I think this was like episode 7 or something, Rise of the Sweetheart. Great movie. A woman washes up on a beach. She thinks she's alone. And then one night she sees there's this giant shark creature. Like, weird thing. It's never explained what it is. It comes from the underdepths because it doesn't like sunlight. Cool shark head. Great movie. Now, before we get into my number 1, I do have one honorable mention. And it's honorable mention because it's not a shark. That is Orca. This is based on the novel from Arthur Herzog. It's starring Richard Harris and Bo Derek. This film is absolutely one of my favorites and absolutely incredible. The sounds the orcas make, terrifying. Basically, this, fisherman, this whaler, he sees a pod of orcas, he harpoons one. It was a female, she was pregnant, and the male, while he sees fire reflecting from his eyes, he lets out this horrid sound. And he basically is like, okay, you took my wife, you took my unborn child. Guess what? Your boat, gone. Guess what? Your friends, gone. Your wife, gone. Your house, gone. It is this insane but incredible vengeance story about this orca coming for this man. And they have a big face-off at the end. Fantastic movie. But number 1 could only be one thing. That is Peter Bench's Creature. So this is from the 1994 novel White Shark. Peter Benchley, no big deal. He also wrote Jaws, The Deep, and Beast, which Beast, great octopus movie. This miniseries is phenomenal. It's done in like kind of 2 parts. Craig T. Nelson, Kim Cattrall, and Giancarlo Esposito as werewolf. Top notch. What's so great with this shark is an experiment, and it starts out as a shark, but then it starts to evolve, and it eventually becomes this hulking, like, shark creature, this half man, half shark, big claws, big head, like, just so cool. And what's even better is its practical effects. So it looks real. It looks insane. Like the head moves, the teeth move, the eyes move. Just such an incredible experience of a movie. So if you haven't seen Peter Benchley's Creature, please search it out. It is so good. But that's all time we have. We like to keep things short and sweet, just like me. And we want to thank, the Shark Pit for being this week's toast. And if you want to let us know what you think of any of the films we reviewed today, or you want to let us know a shark movie I need to check out, I've seen almost all of them. Really bad ones, really good ones. But you can let us know. There's so many ways. The best ways are check us out on Instagram and TikTok, a toast to film, all one word. Check us out on Twitter at film_toast. Or check us out on wonderful YouTube. You can see my bedhead. You can see this cool shark pit can. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment. I love comments, love responding to them. But we just hope you have a good night and good viewing.